Hi everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So many of you know from my most recent episodes that I have actually moved to a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And so I will make sure with my recipes that in the title you'll see if it's vegan, vegetarian, or a whole food plant-based type of meal. And so what does that mean? A lot of people don't even know what whole food plant-based means. It's really kind of vegan plus. It means that you also don't, as a whole food plant-based diet, that you don't eat processed foods, that you don't eat or use like sugar or regular flour. You're using whole wheat. You're using, like, for sweeteners, maple syrup or date puree instead of confectionery sugar. So it really takes it up to another level. So it's more than I'm not eating anything that has a mother. It's also all these other pieces that go with it. And why am I doing this? Really, for two reasons. The most important, actually, for me personally, is just my health and my family's health. Just found that this is just a healthier way to live. I can tell you, if you want to reach out, just the major differences we've seen in our blood work, glucose levels. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And the other thing we decided to do this is, limiting our footprint on the earth in terms of, not eating animal products. So I do have a recipe out there already on my channel for a pumpkin pie. So what makes this special is that it's a vegan pumpkin pie, and I'm actually using a gluten-free pie crust. And this is actually something you can get at the grocery store if you have. Usually it's a little higher end stores carry these. Some stores around the country, at least within the US, I would say, are stores like Kroger or Harris Teeter or a Publix or an Albertson. So I think you kind of get the idea of the store. I'm sure Trader Joe's probably has them as well. And it's a shame, really, that to be healthier minus things that it costs more. But guess what? It does. So this recipe, I have made this several times. It is an absolute favorite, and it's a favorite amongst others that eat whole food plant-based diet. So I'm just thrilled to be able to share this with you, and it's wonderful. I actually have a dessert party coming up, and so I'm making it for that. All right, so very simple ingredients, and really it's, the things that you would normally use in a regular pumpkin pie is just some substitutes. So I'm using, my regular pumpkin, 100% pumpkin, can of pumpkin there. What I am using, again, in terms of substituting sweetener, I've got maple syrup, and then I have date puree. So you may not know how to make date puree, so look up on my channel. I have a video out there, very simple to do. And you can also buy it as well, but this is much easier for you just to buy a bag. It would last so much longer. And then I really have kind of some of the traditional seasonings: ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, and there's a little bit of salt in here. If you are new to my channel, then all of the ingredients and the measurements you can find in the description. So just look down and everything is there. What I try to do is walk you through how to prepare it, how it should look, and then of course there should be a picture out there. There's also cornstarch, so we are using cornstarch for this. And then this is a mixture of coconut milk and almond milk. Very little coconut milk, but the coconut milk has a degree of fat in it. And so that's why I have the mixture here. And then some vanilla, which we would always use in a pumpkin pie. So let's get started. We're gonna just mix everything together. So I'm just gonna put everything in our bowl here. And one thing that you will note is that I have a Vitamix, but I'm not a Vitamix, my handy dandy blender I have a wonderful blender, but what I want to do here is, and what I found is, it blends so much better if you use a handheld, you know, blender. So again, not the high-end kind, just use your handy dandy because it helps to get everything mixed really well. So we have that in there. Let's go on and add our seasonings. Let's put that in there. Let's add our cornstarch, like so. Okay, we're gonna go and add our puree. Oh, and it smells so good. I mean, pumpkin just smells good anyway. And let me measure out, actually, we're gonna do a teaspoon of vanilla. So I will measure that one out. I like to pre-measure before the show just to make sure we move along pretty quickly. So that's the reason for that. All right, then we're gonna add our maple syrup, and I wanna make sure I get every drop of it. So I'm gonna make sure I use this to get anything around the sides. Now I do have my oven preheated to 350, so you'll want to do that. So we're gonna get our main liquid in here, like so. Now, an interesting thing about this, and this tends to be true with pumpkin pies, because it's usually a little thicker, flatter kind of a pie, is that we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to leave it in for just about an hour. And notice, unlike normal when I would make pie crust or use pie crust if I bought store-bought, I put it in the oven first and let it brown on the outside. You don't do that with this kind of crust. Even though it's frozen, it cooks beautifully. And as a matter of fact, that's kind of one of the things you'll know, or the way you'll know that, guess what, your pie is just about there, because this will be nice and brown on the outside, and it cooks beautifully under the bottom as well. All right, so I'm gonna go on and mix this. It's not gonna take very long, so we'll just keep going. Good, smells good. It's not done yet. I just want to wipe down the sides so I make sure I get everything in mixed nicely. Okay, we're just going to mix it just a little bit more, and then we're just going to pour it into our pie crust, put it in the oven, and guess what? We're done, and we have something healthy and delicious and simple, right? Okay, we are there. We are there. See, I told you it wasn't going to take very long to be able to do this. All right, let's go on and pour it in to our pie crust. And part of why I was saying, you know, I like using the handheld blender is because you do want it smooth. Again, with like when I make sweet potato pies, you know, it's gonna be maybe a little lumpy. That's not the case with pumpkin pie, okay? So if it's lumpy, that means some of your dry products probably did not mix very well, and we don't want that, right? We want everything mixed beautifully, and this has come out this is like perfect, 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 perfect. So I'm just gonna spread it around evenly like so. And all right, now with that, we're going to put it in the oven 1 hour. I'm gonna, of course, check it probably in about 45 minutes. Just make sure everything is going as planned. But we'll be back in an hour. We're gonna take a look at how wonderful this pie came out. We'll be back. Okay, so it's been an hour. I've checked on it. It looks amazing. So let's go on and get it out the oven. Bring it over here so you can take a look at it. It's gonna step out of the camera just a little bit. And one of the things you're going to notice is just the color of the crust. So the crust is just a nice golden brown, and you can tell that the pie is nicely set. So this is a perfect pie. It looks amazing. Oh, it smells so good in my house because of it, and I'm grateful for that. This is lovely. Now, there's one more step you have to take. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put it in the refrigerator, and my recommendation is this. If you're going to serve this at a party or something like that, make it the day before. That's exactly what I've done. So I have a gathering tomorrow, made it today. It makes, when it sits in the refrigerator overnight, it just sits just really perfectly. If you don't have an overnight, account for about 4 hours, okay, to just let it kind of rest and sit, and it'll be perfect. I hope you enjoy this beautiful vegan pumpkin pie, whole food, plant-based, all the things that it is, and so healthy and so incredibly delicious. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to my channel, hey, do me a favor, click. I come out with something every other week. And again, you'll be able to search my site a lot easier now, knowing, again, if you're vegan or vegetarian or whole food plant-based, it'll be in the title. Thanks again. Bye-bye.